Outlander Season 8 is just around the corner, and it's going to reveal a bunch of questions we've been dying to have answered. Claire will finally discover her true potential and learn to use the blue light, as Diana Gabbledohn and the showrunners promise. We'll finally learn the truth about Jamie's ghost. Master Raymond is coming back, and he'll probably solve the Faith and Fanny mystery too. But as if Outlander's own mysteries weren't enough, now we've got Blood of My Blood, which dropped a huge twist. Claire's brother, William. Okay, so since Season 8 is the final chapter, I expect it to give us some answers. Knowing that Claire's parents didn't actually die, but instead traveled through time and had a baby in the early 1700s is absolutely insane. And it should definitely affect Claire's storyline in Outlander, because otherwise there's no logic in releasing Blood of My Blood before Outlander, you know? So let's break down who William really is and how this story might be wrapped up in Season 8. William is Jamie's brother. Alright, first things first, Brian baptized the baby before he was christened in a Protestant church, and Julia named him William Henry Beauchamp. But afterward, the child was renamed Simon Fraser by Lord Lovett. So while we call him William, we don't actually know for sure what everyone will call him in the Outlander universe yet. If everything goes according to plan and Julia and Henry avoid Simon, then yes, it's William. And if it's William, there's a real possibility that he's the same William who was Jamie's brother, the one who passed away when he was around 10 years old. Here's the deal. We don't know if Henry and Julia were able to travel through the stones because we don't know whether they had a gemstone with them or not. But one thing's for sure, poor William didn't have a gemstone on him. So if both parents managed to time travel, it would mean William was left behind all alone, and Archbug could have been the one to find him. If Brian and Ellen discovered that someone else took William, they'd definitely try to get him back. They'd owe it to Henry and Julia for sure. If this theory turns out to be true, there are multiple ways it could play out. Maybe Julia and Henry got stuck in that time period because they couldn't figure out how to travel again and something tragic happened to them. In that case, Brian would end up raising William as his own. According to the wiki page, Jamie's deceased brother William was born in 1716, and the last time I checked, Julia and Henry landed in 1715. So the timeline fits pretty closely, and while I think this theory makes sense, it might not matter much since William has been dead for a long time. On the other hand, maybe Claire and Jamie will talk about Jamie's brother and piece things together. Would that change anything? Probably not. Honestly, I think it wouldn't satisfy the audience at all. There are 3 more theories floating around, though I think 2 of them are unlikely. Let me explain why William is not Jamie's uncle or cousin. In Season 2 in Dragonfly and Amber, we meet Brian's half-brother Simon. Some fans have speculated that we've already seen William on screen, that Simon might actually be William. Then, in Season 7 and in Echo in the Bone, we're introduced to Jamie's second cousin, Simon Fraser of Balnain. At the end of Season 7 Part 1, he dies, and Jamie, Claire, and young Ian take his body back to Scotland. At first, I thought both Simons were strong candidates, but the truth is, Brian's half-brother was born in 1726, and Jamie's second cousin in 1729. So it's impossible for either of them to be Claire's brother. Still, her brother is a pretty important piece for Claire to connect all the dots, and I have a strong feeling that in Season 8, William will find Claire. Diana had no original interest in writing about Claire's parents, Julia and Henry. At least that's what she said before. So I feel like William wasn't a carefully planned character until Blood of My Blood came into play. That's exactly why I believe we haven't seen him on screen yet. At this point, it doesn't even matter who raised William. It could have been Ellen and Brian for a time, or Julia and Henry. Heck, maybe even the Grants or Archbug himself took care of him. That part isn't important for Outlander just yet, because that story belongs to Blood of My Blood. In Outlander Season 8, though, I feel like William will either learn about everything from Henry or by reading his late parents' letters. That could spark a desire in him to find Claire, or at least uncover his parents' story completely. Maybe that's when he hears rumors about a British woman who married a Fraser, and hoping she might know something about his family, he decides to seek her out. Or maybe he meets Brianna first, and they form a friendship that eventually leads to some huge revelations. What do you think? Do you believe William will find Claire in season 8 or not? I guess we'll find out in early 2026, since that's the release date Starz announced for Outlander. Now, let's talk about all these theories in the comments below, and after that, go check out the video on screen to find out what will happen in season 8, episode 1.